Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Tuesday. All right, guys. Well, tonight we have our Valley premiere for season 2, but also part 3 of the Beverly Hills reunion. It's a lot that's happening, but we have a lot to cover, especially with Bethenny Frankel doing another TikTok when it comes to Gia and Dolores Catania opening up about her own thoughts about the Beverly Hills reunion. I thought that this was interesting. So here we go. If you guys have not, go ahead, pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And again, tonight is for our members only. It's an after party for the Valley. I think it's going to be I mean, I'm excited. I love it. I've always loved the after parties. And finally, after Jason and I were talking, it makes sense for something that we can do with the membership. So yeah, here we go. Now. All right, guys. So you know that I love me some Dolo. Always. We have mutual friends, but I love Dolores because she's always such a good sounding board. But I also love when she crosses over and gets into Patterson Dolores, which sometimes I'm like, I'm a little nervous for these women, but no, I want more. So she went on 2 T's in a Pod, and when she did, she discussed Kyle Richards' conduct at the Beverly Hills reunion, especially because Andy Cohen kind of seemed pretty annoyed, maybe even assertive when it came to talking about the Morgan Wade of it all. He was questioning Kyle pretty hard about that relationship with Morgan. And when he was saying, listen, at the end of the day, you're wanting to protect her, but also she is a public figure. It's not like she's this private person. And on top of that, she has garnered a new fandom out of the Bravo sphere that has really put her even more so on the map with so many other people who might not have known who she was to begin with. And that is it's a very, very true statement. When you start doing crossovers, crossing over into different realms, worlds, yeah, I didn't know who she was before Kyle Richards. And, you know, my family grew up on all kinds of R&B, country music, all over the place. We had everything playing in our house, but I never knew who Morgan Wade was. And I know that I wouldn't have heard that growing up, heard Morgan, but still, I'm just saying I didn't know who she was. But Dolores said, I think he's offended. You have a problem with us talking about you on our show? Oh, then why did you come on? That's a very great point. It's a good point. I mean, why come on the show if you're so offended by it? You didn't know what you were getting yourself into. Okay, well, you didn't like the first reaction, but then it was good for you at one moment, but then now it's not good for you at this moment. And Kyle is continuing to protect you, which is now pissing off production, NBC, and I guess father of Bravo himself, Andy Cohen. Yeah. She further also speculated that Andy's frustration was evident, saying, I think he's getting pissed off about it a little bit. I wouldn't want to be sitting in Kyle's seat if I were her. I think that's a very solid statement. Yeah. Well, the conversation also touched on Kyle's close friendship with PK Kemsley's estranged husband, PK, who I'm pretty sure they will end up getting a divorce. We don't know what's happening with that. But she said, how do you feel now, Kyle? Because you were friends with PK for what reason? I don't know. He just ratted you out to your friends. I'm thinking that she's talking about the fact that in Oceanside, Kyle went back to the room and called PK. I don't know if PK actually told Dorit about that or if production told Dorit and then she panned it off or played it off like it was something that was given to her by her husband at the time. I feel like when you are going through a difficult time in a relationship and you have somebody that sort of has a bug in the ear or somebody who is kind of in the mix, you don't really ruin those relationships because that's sort of your lifeline and that's how you're getting information as to what's being said, what's being talked about. So most people, when you do have that sort of point person, you're not going to piss them off, you know? But I think that tonight we'll get a little bit more context when it comes to that as well. Now, I want to get into the Gia and Bethenny of it all, because on the Get Real with Kim D podcast, Jenn Fessler ended up defending Teresa Giudice's daughter against remarks that were made by Bethenny Frankel. Now, Bethenny had previously commented on Teresa and Louis' tax issues, and then Gia went on Casual Chaos, which we've talked about a million times, to defend her mother and her stepfather. And Bethenny responded by calling Gia ill-advised and not educated. So Jenn went on and talked about how she supports Gia through this, saying, I would hope that my daughter would do the same. She also criticized Bethenny, which, by the way, somebody said something to me the other day, and it was about my mom. And it was just somebody letting me know, like, by the way, we support whatever your mom's decision is. We would never judge anything. And I'm like, what? What would you judge? You don't want to judge my mom to me, because I will make like mob wives and I will scalp you. Like, don't do that. Don't be silly. I will fight to the ends of the earth for my parents, but I will have my own separate conversations. But if it's in front of anybody outside of my walls, outside of my own personal conversations with them, doesn't matter if it's my mom, my dad, my mother-in-law, it doesn't matter who it is, I'm going to rip your face off, and then I'll have my own conversation, because that's insanity. However, I don't have parents who are public figures, and I think that that is the difference, specifically in this situation. But when she was talking about Bethenny, Jenn Fessler, she said, you know, say something about my kids and you have to die. You have to die a slow, painful death. Oh, God. But Jenn accused Bethenny of narcissism and using her influence negatively, saying, I use my power. I try to use my power for good, and she uses her power for evil. All right. Well, what came out originally was, and I don't know if you guys can read this, but if you can't, this was the statement, and you can see where it says Bravo and cocktails, but the statement was, I made my first million before I even knew who Gia Giudice was, so forgive me if I'm not taking financial lessons from the daughter of a walking tax case study. When your mom and stepdad owe nearly $3 million to the IRS, the smartest move might be to stay quiet, or at the very least, don't go online teaching others how to manage their money. I don't have a PhD in economics, but I do have a multi-million-dollar company, clean finances, and the good sense to call a lawyer before I call a stylist. So if Gia ever needs a mentor, I'm available as long as she brings a calculator and an actual tax return. Well, I think that we were all curious as to, at the time, whether or not Bethenny said that. This is what Bethenny said.
So there's a fake quote from me to Gia Giudice that I did not say. It sounds like someone asked AI how I would respond to something, and that's what it said. And it's actually a well-written quote because AI wrote it. I just can't claim it. It's not a read I can claim. I didn't say it. So it's kind of going around and people are reporting on it. I don't care in this case. I mean, what do I care? People say things all the time. People steal my content all the time. And I just was at a dinner last night, actually, with Gary Vee talking about AI. So I just want you to know, I am not going to claim that quote, which people are saying that it's a great clapback. I didn't clap back. And you know what? I know that she's an adult, but she's someone's kid in that sphere. And I don't like get into that at all. So did not respond, would not respond, don't really care. Love you guys, but yeah, not my work. Have a good day.
Okay. Well, I think that says it all. Now, I want to hear what you guys think. Guys, pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Love you guys. Bye.